All right, let's try that. Turn on your sound, turn on your sound, and turn on your sound. This is Brian Johnson. Welcome to my Monday night training live on the land of the faces and the Facebook. So hopefully you had an amazing weekend. Hopefully you got some good relaxation time out of there. If this is your first time, type first timer. If this is not your first time and you are a veteran, then just type veteran. What's up, Miss Cynthia? Hey, Audrey. Hey, Tara Marie. Danny. Great to see your smiling faces. Looking forward to seeing you all again, most of you tonight in our closed Facebook training. As soon as we're done at 8 o'clock, we're having our family members only chat tonight. So make sure you plug in on Think Great Nutrition. For those of you that are not jumping aboard yet, tonight is your night. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about and share with you 3 simple health hacks to boost your gut health, combat your allergies, autoimmune, and potentially reverse your symptoms. What's up, Jen? Hey, Christy. Hey, Donnell. I have some really interesting information I'm going to share with you first prior to digging into that. What's up, Lynn? So here's the thing. To date, hey, Audrey. To date, did you know there's 80 different, hey, Don, there's 80 different autoimmune diseases that have been identified. And 40 illnesses are suspected to have an autoimmune component, according to the American Autoimmune Related Diseases Association. And for those of you that have my notes, this is exactly what I'm reading off of. If you don't have my notes, go to step 1 above. That way you can get, hey, Jen, that way you can get my notes. Hey, Terry. All right, so check it out. So autoimmune conditions are chronic and can affect every organ in our body, crossing almost all medical specialties, which is kind of crazy. Here's something even more interesting, ladies. Listen to this. The prevalence of autoimmune disorders is rapidly arising and now affects an estimated 23.5 million Americans. And guess what? 75% of it is from women. I'll explain to you why, in my opinion, that I think that is a possibility here soon. So, for those of you down here on my personal page, is a connection good? If not, go up to Think Great, Lose Weight. Its connection seems to be going great. You have a son with Crohn's. All right, so we'll talk about all that stuff. And tonight in our family group, in our closed group, we're going to talk about label reading, and we're going to get into binging, and we're going to get into negative self-talk, and I have some questions and some things written down I'm going to answer for y'all tonight. So 75% of them are women. In fact, autoimmune diseases are in the top 10 leading causes. What's up, CV? They're in the top 10 leading causes of death in American ladies under the age of 65. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. Why I think that it's women. These are not my stats. This is information I pulled up. So this is actual data. What I am going to share with you is this. Women's limbic center of their brain is about 8 times larger than that of males. This is where our emotional center is. In my opinion, the reason why that number is so lopsided as far as autoimmune challenges is because, in my experience, and this is working with well over 100,000 people at this point, I have experienced more ladies who have had more emotional trauma and unresolved emotions than I have with men, which is rather interesting. Ladies have more emotions going on. They have more emotional hormones. Their body is geared more for emotions due to the plumbing that they have, I guess on my eye, and in my opinion, this is where a lot of the autoimmune challenges is because of the emotional challenges and unresolved in our emotional state. And I'm going to share with you some tools and some tactics tonight. This is just my opinion. I don't have any way to prove that. I'm just giving you my experience, what I've experienced being in the health and wellness field for 32 years now, and my experience of just interacting with clients and interacting with people that have turned into case studies and different experiences and things of that nature. So that's where I'm kind of getting my opinion from on this. So, for those of you, this is your first time, type first timer. If you haven't shared, please share. This is the best way that you can help me. If you've ever said, man, you know what, Brian, how can I help you? Here's the best way you could help me is by sharing my broadcast so that I can support and help more people just like yourself. Hey, Miss Heather McKissick. That is the best way you can help me help you, Jerry Maguire, and help me help others in your life. And for those of you that do, I am grateful for you. I appreciate you. For those of you that are catching my replay, I love you and I appreciate you as well. I always go back and I'm very interactive. So leave a comment. We'll be interacting throughout my entire broadcast. For those of you, if you're having a challenge down here on my personal page, you can hop up to Think Great Lose Weight. I have 2 feeds going right now. So if you notice that the connection gets off, then you can definitely do that. So welcome aboard. I hope you had an amazing weekend. I sure did. So leave it at that. And let's go ahead and get started and have some fun. So here's the first thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about our immune system. Specifically, we're going to talk about autoimmune, because I have found that autoimmune challenges are pretty prevalent. A lot of times it's been mostly with ladies too, which has been really interesting. Now that it says that, I'm like, wow, I can definitely see that. Okay, so ladies, you know I love you. Predominantly, our audience is ladies, probably about 70 to 80% sometimes. So we're gearing this information for you and for my brothers that are on here as well. You will also benefit from this. So just understand, my invitation to you is to give yourself permission to be open-minded. Give yourself permission to give me 1% of your trust, and undoubtedly, I will earn the other 99. So for those of you that are on my feed, you have already agreed that you are on your mission to be the best version of yourself. Are you in agreement with this? If so, type a yes. And we're going to talk about autoimmune. So get your pen. What's up, Shay? So get your pen, get your paper, get your brain on, get your hands ready. And for those of you that like my notes, go to step 1 and get on our email list. That way you will get our notes every time they go out. What's up, DJ? How's Anitra? So, all right, so autoimmune. This is when your body actually attacks itself. Okay? This is how your body starts to attack itself, which is obviously not great. Anytime you eat foods, our foods and our intention is for our foods to nourish us. Can we agree to that? If you're in agreement with that, just type yes. Well, the challenge is that when people start to break down, and we start to break down emotionally, understand that in my opinion, we are emotional beings living physical experiences first, which means that we break down emotionally or energetically first before it shows up physically. If you are in agreement with that, just type a yes so I can see where we're at. If I need to go back and address that to be more clear on that, let me know and I will do that. I just like to make sure that we're all on the same page moving forward, so that way I can make sure you're fully supported throughout our investment of time tonight. And I appreciate you all investing your time. For those of you that shared, I appreciate it. For those of you that haven't shared and just hopped on, please do share if you don't mind. Shay, it's good to see you. How's Piper and your hubby? So, all right, everybody's good on that. So next thing, when your body starts to attack itself, this is where we start to have challenges. A lot of this stuff is located in our gut. And for those of you that know body language stuff, have been in our body language course, here's the thing. Our gut or our bowels represents our feeling world. And when we have feelings that we haven't loved or forgiven, what happens is that directly impacts our intestinal walls, our intestinal lining, our gut, period. That's where a lot of gut disorders and constipation, diarrhea, IBS, Crohn's, a lot of this stuff comes from the emotional unresolved that is going on internally. Thank you for sharing, DJ. Okay. So now, this is interesting because most of the time, like you heard me say earlier, my opinion is that women have, well, this is a fact, women have a limbic brain, men do as well. Theirs specifically is about 8 times bigger than ours. And that is specifically where our emotional center is. So you could imagine that being a more emotional being, it's definitely going to input. It's going to make an input, all right, for sure. And it's going to make one in your body. Now, where it shows up at is going to be also indicative of different emotional things. For example, if someone has emotional trauma or emotional stress that hasn't been resolved, and it's unforgiveness with dad, that's going to totally impact your right kidney. Our kidneys are about unforgiveness and partnership returning. Our thyroid is about anger. Okay? Hey, Ingrid, thank you for sharing. For those of you that have shared, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being able to help out. Okay, so check it out. This is really interesting right here. In my opinion, if you were not born with autoimmune challenges, liver's resentment, Heather, if you are not born with autoimmune challenges or allergies, in my opinion, these are reversible. And one thing I'm really going to empower you to subscribe to is this. There is nothing that our body cannot do when it's empowered with the food, the mental belief systems, and the emotional intelligence to raise your consciousness to a certain level where your body can heal itself. People ask me, Brian, are you a healer? No, I'm not. I'm an empowerer. I empower people like yourself with the truth so their body can do what it's designed to do already. God has created our body in his image, so you literally have the availability to create and to receive and be in the same light. Hey, John, I appreciate it, brother. Let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. So yes, I am not a healer. That's not a definition or a title I choose to have. Which means if I means I'm a healer, that means that everyone that comes to me has got an illness. And that's not my choice either. I will support those with it. And my choice is to empower people like yourself with the truth, with the laws, not my theory or opinion, with the information that I've seen consistently create miracles across the board every time it's used correctly. All right? So there's 80 different types of autoimmune challenges, 80 different types. There's also 23.5 million people that are impacted in America alone, and 75% of them are women. So ladies, I'm going to ask you a question. And you're in a completely secure space. I'm not getting into your business. Hey, Angelia, not getting into your business or anything like that. What I am asking you is this. Do you feel currently in your past there's been unresolved emotional challenges that maybe have gone on more than what was necessary? You can do a yes or no to that. All I'm doing is just collecting data to see where you're at so I can detail my conversations around making sure that you are supported specifically with information you can use today and information you can share and use with your brothers and sisters. Okay? Completely all right. Yes. Okay, perfect. Hey, thank you, Heather, for sharing. Most definitely. All right, Shay. Corianne, welcome. Terry Tyler. All right. So here's what's up, Jeff Moore? Here's what I'm going to encourage each of you to do, including myself, because I had an instance on pride yesterday. And I've been learning a bit on pride from some of my different books, and some of my church service was about pride yesterday too. So here's the thing. Pride actually comes from fear. So when we have pride and we're unwilling to forgive something, somehow, some way, there's some type of fear attached to that. And what I'm inviting you to consider is this. I'm inviting you to give yourself full permission right now to be fully open-minded to anything that comes through me to support you. And most importantly, for you to give yourself full permission to let go and to surrender of anything and everything that is not supporting you to be the best version of you. I can, I will. And if you're open-minded to that, just say a yes. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, bro. Been thinking about you lately. Hey, Zilla. Good to see you all the way from Hawaii. Okay? So mostly women are impacted like this. So what I'm going to literally give you tonight is the keys to the castle so you can start to understand what to do to empower yourself with the truth necessary to set yourself free. What's up, DJ? Okay, so we're going to start cruising on. Before we do that, I've got a couple of options for you tonight. For those of you that are not involved in our nutrition series or our emotional breakthrough series, you have the opportunity to do so tonight. Our nutrition series is only $77. Our body language our emotional breakthrough series is only $97. Both of those are over $400 off the retail prices. If you're interested in getting involved in our nutrition series, go to step 2. Go to step 3. If you're interested in doing our emotional breakthrough series, go to step 3. Here's the bonuses that you get. You're automatically going to get added to our closed Facebook group. That's a free $1,000 value add where you can go in there. And tonight at 8, I'm going live in our group to talk about ingredient reading and label reading. Okay? That's number one. Bonus number two, either series you choose to do, or if you're doing both, that's fine too. You're also going to get the audio versions to both of those, so you can listen along. Bonus number three, you and I get to have a one-on-one conversation to go through your unique situation so I can help you create some outcomes specifically based off what your goals are. And naturally, you can see the value in that alone is well worth $1,000, not including getting your trainings on top of that. So step two, our emotional breakthrough series. Step three is our nutrition series. So take action when you get ready. They're there for you, plus those bonuses. Message me when you do get enrolled so I can get you set up with your bonuses. Step number two, we're going to talk about allergies. All right? Allergies. Number one, I'm going to read off to you the allergies in no specific order. These are your top 7 or 8. Number one, peanuts. Number two, tree nuts, milk, eggs, wheat, soy, fish, and shellfish. And here's my thing. If you're not born with them, in my opinion, this means they are reversible for you. I'm going to repeat that. If you're not born with them, this means they are reversible to you. And a lot of times, as we start unveiling and surrendering belief systems and stories that we've made up along the way, a lot of times those also relinquish some of our allergy patterns, which is really kind of crazy. Okay? Seen it happen. Read about it happening, seen it happen as well. So really give yourself permission to surrender to certain things that come up to you, because here's the most important thing. Everyone in your life is there for a reason, and they are there to mirror to you exactly what we have not dealt with or forgotten about ourselves and not made right or forgiven ourselves for, maybe from long ago. It's been so long ago that we suppressed it and repressed it so we wouldn't have to think about it. Everyone in our life is a mirror to show us what we have not dealt with, what we have suppressed and forgot about. So anytime you're triggered, guess what? That's what that means. And when you can look at it as a gift versus a curse, it allows you to squeeze the juice out of your life. Because the last couple of days, I've had some experiences pop up with some situations, and as soon as I was able to get to the bottom of it, it really did some really deep healing for me. So for those of you to know, I'll just be honest with you, I had some challenges with a couple of people in my life. Just a couple. And I would really get frustrated around them. And almost to the point where they felt like they were kind of helpless, or this is what I gathered from them. And here's the most interesting thing. I was working with my energy coach a couple of days ago, and we started talking about my past, specifically when I was little. Well, for those of you that know, I used to get tortured by my brother. He would tickle me until I peed on myself. He would scare me half to death, hold me down. And just basically, he was bigger than me, so I couldn't do much. I would literally get so mad, I would run into the bathroom and shut the door and yell at the top of my lungs. I was so irate. I probably don't think I have been that mad ever since that time in my life. What that really taught me too was that I was completely helpless at that point. And what I was getting upset with about the people in my life was because they almost seemed helpless, and I would get really frustrated. That was because I had not loved helpless little Brian when he used to get picked on. And it was really a healing process for me. And as soon as I knew that, as soon as I was able to recognize that and be okay with it, I wasn't irritated by him at all. And I was actually able to love him and support him lovingly without getting frustrated. Okay? So anytime you have something to where you are triggered by someone, understand that's there for a purpose. It has a purpose specifically in our life to help us grow from that. That's right. Faith is the key. Okay? So in my opinion, if you are not born with these types of allergies, I believe personally that you can reverse them. And we're going to talk about some things that you can do to actually start doing that tonight. One of the things that I highly encourage you to do is this. Pay attention to how you feel after you eat something about 30 minutes. Because if you have allergies to it, okay, you're going to find that your nasal passages may get kind of constructed to where you can't breathe as well. That's what happens for me. When I'm allergic to something, My nose will kind of get kind of stuffy almost instantaneously. If it's avocados and I'm allergic to them, my lip will kind of swell up. So more than likely, if you are allergic to something like this, you will know very fast. And if you have allergies, I'm not talking about anaphylactic shock where you have to give yourself a whack of that big old needle. I'm talking about just baseline allergies where you start feeling kind of crazy. Okay? So here's the next thing. I'm going to share with you some things that you can do right now to help with your allergies. Because if you live in Austin, Texas, there's a great possibility you are experiencing some allergy challenges. And my nose is going to itch. And this is a little body language. I can, I will, I can, I will. So I'm going to itch it and just enjoy it for a minute, okay? All right. Back in action, okay? So, number one, all the stuff I'm about to tell you about, we go through all of our nutrition series and the 6 modules that's on our digital series. We go through all of this stuff I'm about to share with you, plus a ton more. These are just a few highlights. Number one, if you have allergy, emphysema, or asthma, kiwis. Kiwis is something you can start to use and implement. I had a client that was in her 70s that had asthma, came down with it when she was in her 20s, had to stop playing tennis, which was her favorite sport, and guess what? We connected when she was in her 70s. It's when I was still training people about 3 or 4 years ago. Well, she came to the gym where I was training at, started working out, and we had to stop every minute for 2 minutes, for an hour. We work out for a minute, not really intense, just a little bit, and we would have to stop for 2 minutes. We did this for a whole hour. And I said, all right, Carol, well, let's try a few things tomorrow. Let's try a couple of kiwis, and let's try some fish oils, specifically 2,000 milligrams of EPA, which is a fish oil, not an ingredient, but it's a part of the makeup of the fish oil. Typically, there's a DHA and there's an EPA. So she came back after having her 2 kiwis and her 2,000 milligrams of EPA. You're not going to believe what happened. Literally, we worked out for an entire hour straight due to this. This thing alone. I've seen it happen multiple times with people who have asthma and breathing disorders completely go away with these 2 things. Now, in my opinion, when you understand what to do with your foods from the grocery store, you too also have the information and wisdom necessary to help you thrive. And naturally, that's what you want, right? Of course. Okay? Me too. Understanding this stuff will allow you to empower yourself with the truth necessary. The next one is going to be Camu berry. C-A-M-U berry. Camu berry is your highest source of vitamin C, and it is actually great for lung challenges. So when I'm having lung challenges and allergies and my nose is kind of tight and kind of constricted, I will have some Camu berry, and it helps me immensely. Okay? The next one is nettle leaf. N-E-T-T-L-E leaf. Nettle leaf. Very important. Very potent antihistamine. Okay, so if you're having allergy challenges, you could easily get some nettle leaf. They make it in teas. They make it in capsules. This will help you to start to lower your histamine responses. All right. The next one, cordyceps. C-O-R-D-Y-C-E-P-S. One of my favorites. Cordyceps is known as the herbal Viagra. It actually has adenosine, which is the same stuff. Thank you, Marianne, for sharing. The same stuff that's actually in the nitro pills that you get for having a heart attack, the nitroglycerin pills. The adenosine is exactly what's in there. Cordyceps have that in there naturally, which means they expand the bronchial pathways. They did multiple studies on people who had ED, men specifically, obviously, on men, and 80% of them had a turnaround or turn up. How's that? They also did it on ladies and elderly people in their 80s who had chronic fatigue and who had circulation challenges. 90% of them had improvements from this stuff. The 1993 Chinese women's Olympic sprinting team, that was a tough one, actually beat 5 gold world records. And they got accused of doping. Coach finally came out and said they weren't doping. He was just using cordyceps. Cordyceps is extremely potent. I can tell you that when I have them, I can tell you that I have a big difference in how I feel, how I perform, how I work out. I typically will take them before I go do boxing workouts, and I can tell you a big difference from when I do have them and when I don't. What's going on, Don? Asthma, yes, you can. Just don't know if I can get him be open-minded enough to listen and try. Well, interesting. Ask him if he cares about his health first, and if he does, then this may be helpful. Okay, so the next one, bee pollen. What's up, Mark Douglas? Bee pollen is amazing. Like, next time you actually get some bee pollen or see it at the grocery store, take a look at it. And inside of it, you're going to see different colors of pollen. Because what the bees do is they obviously go and they pollinate everything in the area, and they pick up the pollens and they make bee pollen with it. Okay? So what happens is when you actually take that bee pollen in, you're literally taking trace amounts of all of the different plants in your area. So get local bee honey or bee pollen. You can find it anywhere, probably your grocery stores. Local bee pollen will be great for your immune system. You got to be careful. Only do a little bit at one time. If you don't, you may have yourself a little bit of a challenge. It can be a bit tough on some people. Okay, so just do a little bit. Some people, when I say a little bit, like sometimes like one little granule, you got to start that off and see what works for you. For those of you that are just hopping on, welcome aboard. I appreciate those who actually just shared. Thank you so much. If this is your first time, just type first timer. For those of you that are veterans, for those of you that are interested in moving forward and taking your knowledge to the highest level possible, I have about 3 or 4 different opportunities for you tonight. You can get involved in our nutrition series on step number 3 for literally $77. I'll tell you what's in it. You can get involved in our emotional breakthrough series, which goes through all of your language commands and how to identify language of self-sabotage and how to turn it into language of self-empowerment. That's on step 2, and that's only $97 tonight, which is a $420 off, which is super low considering the value and the impact it will make in your life. Just start off with 1 or 2 granules at a time. If you would like to be considered for my next 6-week challenge, go down to step 4 and we will have a conversation to see if or how I can support you and to see if that is a good fit for you. That's me holding your hand and doing all of your nutrition for 6 weeks, including solving some of your problems on top of that. For those of you that get involved in either one of our series, our emotional series or our nutrition series, as a bonus, you're also going to get the audios for either one of those respectively. You also will be added to our closed Facebook group for our free weekly trainings as our members, which happens tonight at 8 o'clock. And you will also get to have one conversation with me on top of that, which is a $1,000 value. So you easily have $2,500 worth of free bonuses included with either one or both of your tuition investments. It is tuition because it is going to school for sure, with actual wisdom that's going to help you make an impact in your life today. Unlike some of the garbage we learn from school that most of us probably don't use. What's up, Corey? Hey, Melissa. All right, now we're going to talk about gut health. Specifically, we're going to talk about probiotics. If there's anything you take away today, probiotics are extremely important. They can massively boost your immune system. Our gut is about 85% located in our cancer. Our immune system is about 85% located in our gut. Very important to have probiotics. Specifically, I love Good Belly Big Shots. They have an LP 299V strand in them. Mark, you need some Good Belly Big Shots. LP 299V specific strand of bacteria. Why is that important, Brian? Here's why. They actually founded this in Europe. They were doing studies and they were trying to find a probiotic to help people who have bariatric surgeries or gastric surgeries. They found that the LP299V makes it through all the stomach and digestive acids into the lower intestinal tract where it grows. Did you know that we have 4 pounds of gut bacteria? Did you know that? Yes or no? We have 4 pounds of gut bacteria. And for those of you that are down here on my personal page, if you're having a challenge with the connection, go up to Think Great, Lose Weight. Okay? Good bellies. We have 4 pounds of bacteria in our gut. 8 pounds, cancel. 80% should be good bacteria. 20% should be bad bacteria if you are balanced out. Probiotics are dramatically important for our immunity to process and to break down and assimilate our food. Very important. Sauerkraut is another one of those. That's another probiotic, fermented. Kimchi is another one. Now, here's what's interesting. Did you know this? Did you know that the Korean government gives all of its government workers kimchi? Did you know that? If you did, type a yes. If you did not, type a no. What does this mean, Brian? Great question. What this means is that they believe in it so much, they've actually also done studies on it where it's actually proven to kill the bird flu, which is kind of awesome. Bird flu, shmoo. If you take care of yourself, you shouldn't have to get any of that crap. I haven't been sick in like 27 years now, other than allergies. Allergies will get me every once in a while. Other than that, I don't get sick. If I feel something coming on, I'll pull a ninja trick real fast and get it done. All the stuff, the ninja tricks that are available, you can completely pick those up for yourself. You can get our nutrition series in step 3 for $77 and our emotional series for $97 in step 2 for a limited time. So, good bellies, enzymes. If you're not taking enzymes, you need some enzymes. Enzymes help to break down your food. Enzymes also help to reduce your pain. If you're having enzymes and you're using them for pain, make sure you eat them an hour after you eat your food so there's nothing in your stomach. Completely free digestion. Enzymes will work as pain removers and inflammation removers. There's also some stuff called Wobenzyme, which is a German enzyme. That's probably one of the most widespread, amazing enzymes on the planet. If you're dealing with some type of pain, this is important. Okay? Next thing is alkaline water. Alkaline water is dramatically important because our intestinal tract is also alkaline. So when you have alkaline water and alkaline foods, it helps to keep your gut healthy. For those of you that are acidic, you're going to feel acidic. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel achy. You're going to have a hard time sleeping potentially. Stress levels will be higher. You will feel less good. Your hormones will be off. Your skin complexion will not be great. Alkalinity is really key. That is the key to thriving because alkalinity means presence of oxygen. It is the non-presence of oxygen that creates cancer and acidity. Acidity breeds cancer cells. That's not what we're looking for. Would you agree? That's right. Okay, next thing. Emotional withholding. That's right. If you have IBS or constipation, this is for you. Emotional withholding, meaning not letting go with ease. Very important. This is why, in my opinion, the emotional breakthrough system that we have is so important because this is where the magic happens. Food is like 20%, maybe 15%. Abs are made in the kitchen. Yes, and if you're not solid on your emotional tactics and your emotional well-being, it does not matter what you eat. This is why emotions are so important. In my opinion, that's where the rubber meets the road, right? Now, we have letting go with ease. Remember this. Stomach challenges could be fear, could also be grief with not stomaching your emotions. Okay, so here's something for you if you have stomach ulcers. Mastic gum will help immensely. Comes from a tree called the tree, it's a Chios. It's a mastic tree in Chios, Greece. Yes, on an island. Yeah, Don, so we get to where at specifically. So stomach challenges, mastic gum, charcoal also helps. You can also do purple cabbage. Purple cabbage is the highest source of glutamine, which is very important, which helps to repair your intestinal lining. Glutamine is also great for people who are undergoing chemotherapy or cancer-type evasive treatments because the glutamine helps to sustain muscle tissue. It also is used by our brain to a pretty significant amount. Glutamine is an amino acid. Therefore, it's pretty widely available. Supplemented, you'll see it a lot. If you're doing the purple cabbage not only gives you the glutamine, it also gives you I3Cs, which is endo-3-carbinol. Any type of cervical cancer, breast cancer, uterine cancer, prostate cancer, all of these will be impacted by endo-3-carbinals, which turns into DIM, D-I-M, which is a high-grade emotional estrogen metabolizer. We have to talk about it, Lynn. Stomach bloating could be a couple different things. Your food not digesting well, not stomach emotions, fear, it could be a few things. So that's what I have for you tonight. For those of you that are in our closed group, in our members only group, 8 o'clock, we're going live to go over food labels. For those of you that would like to be in our group, what this happens or how this happens is when you get involved in any one of our series, it could be body language, it could be emotional breakthrough, it could be nutrition. You also get added to our closed group for more extra private training, specifically answering your questions. If you would like to get involved in our nutrition series, go to step 3 for $77 for a limited time, down from $497. If you would like to get involved in our emotional breakthrough series, go to step 2 for a limited time. Both of them are down over $400 right now and not for long. So if you're serious about it, take action, message me. Bonuses that you get audios to either or both of those series. You get added to our closed Facebook group. You and I get to have a one-on-one conversation to discuss your unique situation. That's all I have right now. I'm going to load up on some carbs. And I will see you, ladies and gents, at 8 o'clock, ready to roll. Have an amazing day. Message me if you have any questions. If you're interested in getting involved in my 6-week challenge where I solve all of your problems for you, make sure you go down to step 4, fill out my application, and let's have a conversation. Chat soon. Remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Bye-bye.